Around here, we write a lot of sales pages, but I also read a lot of sales pages, whether it's my clients' pages or a VIP day that we're doing, or even being a copy coach in a mastermind. I get to see entrepreneurs' DIY sales pages again and again and again. And I also get to see the patterns. There are a couple things that I consistently see in these sales pages that you may not even know that you're doing. So today I'm going to give you the 5 mistakes I see in these sales pages and 5 mistakes you can fix to instantly increase conversions, connection, and to improve your copy. Hi, I'm Brittany McBean. I'm a launch strategist and copywriter, and I write launch copy for online entrepreneurs, course creators, membership educators, coaches, people launching online educational tools at scale. And today we're going to talk about how you can improve your sales page if you're DIYing it. As a copywriter, a lot of times we just kind of like sit in our little copy caves and we create a lot of copy from scratch. But that means that we don't always have a good feel for how people are writing their own copy, what trends people are picking up on, what they're being taught, what is going on out there in the world when you are DIYing it, which is something I affirm you absolutely should be writing your own copy when you're at the beginning and even the intermediate stages of your business. I have this really unique opportunity to read copy that other successful 6-figure high-earning entrepreneurs have written themselves, both in a copy coaching opportunity inside of a mastermind that I do, and also in my VIP packages when I work with a client to like revamp a sales page in a day. So I get to see this copy that these really successful entrepreneurs have written, and I've started to notice some commonalities among them, some common mistakes, we'll say, some common things that people have either taught or have interpreted as copy that will really help increase conversions, but that may not be serving them. So number 1 is focusing on the product over the solution. Might sound a little complicated, so let me get in the weeds and explain what I mean. When you introduce your product too early, people don't get the what's in it for me answer that they're looking for. They're always asking themselves, what's in it for me? And when you go right in with, I have a problem, here's a solution, and the solution is my product, and you skip actually painting the solution, then all they see is you trying to sell them something. So either they're going to feel turned off because they feel like you're being pushy even when you're not, or they're going to be reading about a product that they don't understand yet, and they have no answer or understanding about why you are the best person to help them solve their problem, why you are the best person to teach them why this product actually solves their problem. When you introduce the product too early, so naming your course, naming your membership, literally naming the product and the offer too early, the reader has not understood what is in it for them. So instead of starting with your product as a solution, I want to encourage you to talk about the solution. Basically, the outcome, the solution, the outcome of your offer, of the transformation you offer without naming your offer. So if you've started in your sales page talking about a problem they might be experiencing, instead of jumping straight to the product, jump to the solution. Paint that scene. What is that movie scene, that slice of life moment? What does it look like after they've experienced that transformation? What is possible for them? Paint that picture. Future pace that outcome and help them see that number 1, you get where they want to go, and number 2, you can help them get there. And then introduce your product as this answer to your solution. So problem, then solution that they want, the outcome that they want to achieve, and then name your product. Don't just go right in by naming your product, because it's gonna go right over their heads and it's really gonna miss the mark when it comes to connecting with your audience. Another thing that I see that's actually kind of similar to solution versus product is features versus benefits. So remember, we've talked about like the solution or the outcome. That's a little bit different than the benefits, but a feature is the specific detail of something, a deliverable in your product or your offer. The benefit is what that detail does. So think of it like my water bottle here. This is a great analogy. So like a feature is the straw top. A feature is the multi-layer thermal, whatever it's called, the thing that keeps my water so cold. This is not an ad. I'm not sponsored, nor do I have an affiliate link. The thing that keeps my water so cold inside this because of the special technology, or the powder coating, which makes it easier to hold, or this little thing, which makes it easier to carry, right? Those are all features. But if I just said, this water bottle has a powder coating, a handle, whatever this is called, a straw spout, and the double-lined aluminum, blah, 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 I wouldn't know what that means. That means nothing to me. I don't know what a powder coating means. I don't know what the double line technology is. But if the advertising says a straw so that you can drink without dumping water on your face, well, I've had that experience. Or like a handle so that even when your hands are full, you can still carry it around with you. Or the powder coating so that you don't drop it and dent it. Or the double line technology so that your water stays cold even after being out in the sun, or your drink stays hot even in the dead of winter, right? That is the benefit. People do not care how many modules or lessons are in your program. So when you lead with like 10 video lessons and 30 modules and this many hours of so-and-so, well, you run a couple risks. Number one, that could actually mean nothing to the reader. Or number two, it could really overwhelm them because they could not understand what that means, right? What that looks like. So instead of saying something like 13 PDFs, you could say like all of the templates you need to blank so that you can blank, or bite-sized trainings. So instead of like 11 videos, bite-sized trainings so that you can watch in your own time in the little nooks and crannies of your life, right? So when we list the features, we run the risk of not meaning anything or overwhelming them or even underwhelming them. And when we don't promote the benefits, they don't understand what it has to do with them. So if you can lead with the benefits over the features, and then if there are features that are a differentiator, that do, like if you're a saturated market or there's a lot of offers that look like yours and you have a feature that is a differentiator, absolutely call that out only in light of the benefit. Talk about it and then answer the what's in it for me. Remember the phrase, so that you can. That's how you're going to get to the benefit over the feature. All right, we talked about getting to the solution in the sales page. Chances are if you've written your own sales page or you've gone off a template or you went off a training or something inside a course, you have started, or at least at some point in your sales page, talked about the problem. That is an important part of copy, is calling out the problem that someone is experiencing, not like twisting the knife, not causing like deep shame, but just calling out the problem that they're experiencing that you solve. What I often see is people stating the problem as a character flaw. So what I mean by that is something like, you just don't have what it takes to accomplish blank. You don't have the time to do blank. You're too stressed out. You're not happy with, right? Where the problem is about them. The problem is a character flaw that if they changed that thing about themselves, they could find the solution. It is super, super, super important to make sure that you are not internalizing the problem for your reader, that you are not making it a character flaw for them, because if it is a character flaw, then the solution is a lot harder. Right? Then no matter what offer they buy, no matter what product they try, they're not going to be able to achieve the outcome that they want because of that character flaw. When we can take the problem and externalize it, think about blaming a system, right? How can we make that problem about a system, about a structure that was set up to prevent them from succeeding? This isn't a manipulation tool. Oftentimes, we don't have the information we need, the support we need, the time we need, whatever it is that we're lacking that's preventing us from getting that solution. We don't have that because of the way a system was structured. So how can you help someone see the problem as something outside of themselves? How can you help them see that this time will be different because you are filling the gap that they didn't have before? How is their lack of success, it's not a lack of success, but their perceived lack of success, a result of an external problem that you can solve with your offer? So an example would be, instead of saying, it's so hard to remember that all of that information that you just can't get what you need to pass that test. I don't know what this course would be for. It's just an example. Instead of saying you don't learn well, you could say something like, except for school hasn't taught you this because school isn't set up to serve people with multiple learning modalities or serve people the way you learn, right? So it's externalizing the problem so that the problem isn't them. The problem is the thing that they were trying. So now if they try this new thing, it's going to be different this time. So next time you're writing your copy and you're talking about the problem, find ways to externalize it, to make it something outside of the reader? How can you say, we have a common enemy and it is this thing that has prevented you from achieving success, but I have created something that solves that problem and allows you to work towards the outcome that you want. The next thing I see is something really easy to fix. A lot of people take all of their social proof, whether it is a case study or a testimonial or a video or screenshots, and they shove it all down at one part, whether it's just like in the middle and it's all there, or whether it's all at the end. So instead of stuffing your social proof all in one place, I want you to use it strategically throughout the entire sales page. You can have some at the top, in the middle, at the bottom, and everywhere in between. The point of your social proof is to back up the claims that you are making. That is literally the point. It is called proof for a reason. So instead of just shoving it all in different sections where you feel like people might need a little brain break, I want you to take the social proof that you have and say, what is this testimonial, video, screenshot proving? Where did I make that claim? Then where can I put that social proof? Or if you've just made a claim saying, do I have social proof that backs up that claim? So when you say this program has everything you need to blah, 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 then you have a testimonial that says, after doing this, I had blah, blah, blah. It is literally that easy as backing up the claims that you're making and infusing it all throughout the sales page, not just stuffing it in one place. I saved the most important for last, and this is the one I see the most frequently. Oftentimes, when we are writing, we forget to write to our reader. We write based on what we want to say, what we are thinking, what we have experienced. What you need to be doing in your copy is entering into the conversation that your reader is already having in their head. That means at the top of the sales page, you are speaking to where they are right now. You are literally entering in the next thought in their head, like disrupting their sentence and continuing it at the start of your sales page. So many times I see people writing their sales page and starting at the top with the word I. Sometimes it's even the very first word. I don't want to see the word I, as in you, as in the writer, anywhere in like the first half of the page, because you haven't answered what's in it for me. They don't care about you. They care about knowing how this helps them. And they only care about you in understanding how you are the right person to help them. Of course, they care about your experience and your expertise and the way you teach and your values. Those things matter because they matter to them. But when you start with, I've taught so many, or I am an expert in, or I did this job, then you've lost them because you're talking about you and they didn't come here to learn about you. They came here to figure out if you have something for them. So the number one thing that I see is starting with the I at the top. And all you have to do is go in and make sure that at least like the top 20%, if not the top 50%, is all about them. And then once you bring in yourself, once you talk about yourself and introduce your bio and your background and your expertise and your values, you're always filtering it through the lens of what's in it for them. So if you can go back and make those few changes, so starting with the solution before you name the product, future pacing before identifying your product as a solution, focusing on benefits versus features and mentioning features when they matter as a differentiator only through the lens of what it has to do for them and what it will do for them, externalizing the problem and making sure that in no way, shape, or form are you communicating that the reason they haven't achieved success is a character flaw, that the reason they haven't achieved success is because they have been set up to fail. See the difference? Not stuffing your social proof all in one place where it doesn't matter, but using it strategically and persuasively for conversions. And then finally, always answering the question, what's in it for me? Not starting with the I and entering in the conversation they have in their head. If you can change even just one of those things, I would bet that you're going to see a big change in how people respond to your copy and how your copy converts. What do you struggle with the most for your sales page? Let me know below. Do you want me to do an entire training just on sales pages? Because I would love to do that. So ask any questions you have with writing your own sales page or what you struggle with the most, put it in the comment, and I can make another video all about sales pages. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button, to subscribe so that you catch the video the next time it drops. I'll see you in the next one.